Avi? Depends on who can make it. Avi, can you fix this camera? It's getting right on my head.
Looking from here.
Yeah, I don't think there's me.
This computer.
This one.
Change the camera.
I don't know how.
Oh, okay. No, never mind. You want to?
Oh, J. Craig. Okay, let me just get this
Tracy?
straight. Integrate. Okay, great. Okay,
That's
fine.
good already?
Yeah, it's better. Okay, doing that. Hi, Harrison. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
How are you?
Okay, got it. All right, how are you?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Okay. Hi, I'm Sarah Rushinick, and I wear a couple of different hats, and I see that you have your note taker on. Harrison,
Yep.
Great idea. Which note taker are you using?
Fellow app?
Okay, Fellow? Fellow?
Yep.
Okay, and I have with me, coming in and out, a colleague here to talk about maybe how we can get your help
Sure.
for Telenex. Okay?
Mhm.
So I wear a number of different hats. I'm a professor of business technology and health informatics at the University of Miami in the business school and also in the School of Medicine. And I'm also chief tech advisor for the city of Coral Gables. Have you heard of Coral Gables, Harrison?
Yeah, I live in Denver, but I'm going to be moving to Miami in probably about a year.
Wow! And what are you gonna, just because you want to, or funny?
Life changes and whatnot. Plus, my family's in Florida.
Oh.
The family.
Okay, so you plan to. Okay, so let's set up a time where we can physically meet as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be great.
You can come to the conference. It's already.
Yeah, maybe we can have
Business trip.
yeah, as a matter of fact, I have a conference next Saturday for the South Florida Tech Hub, which are for South Florida developers. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do a presentation about intelligent callers. And I'm inviting panelists to join us. So panelists from Twilio are planning to be there, Vonage, and I would love to have you folks be represented as well. And it's going to be in Fort Lauderdale at Nova University.
Southern University.
It's called NSU. So it's in Fort Lauderdale, Saturday at 3:30. And it's from 3:30 to 4:30. And we're going to be talking about intelligent caller IDs, showing how it's been done. And we don't want to be looking like we represent one firm, but rather giving advisement that these are the leaders in the field. I don't know if you're able to get someone, maybe even yourself or someone else that can come.
I could ask. I mean,
yes,
we have some people in Florida, although
really?
I think the people we have in Florida are not true technical people, members of the company. So yeah, but
That would not be so technical. It would be more for demonstration where we will demonstrate several dozen AI callers that are embedded in the websites that we have done during a seminar that we did. So even though most of the audience are developers, a
Many
lot
of them
are
are
businessmen that are coming to
learn about technology, so they're not necessarily a
implement
technical.
AI.
They're not necessarily a technical audience, but rather to hear about the concepts and where it's going. And they're looking for us as also professors and also advisors to see, they can kind of see that we are more vendor neutral, but rather showing where the trends are. But what happens, Harrison, just so you know, is after our enthusiastic presentations, basically the audience comes up to us and they say, do it for us. And we're saying that that's not our position. We don't have the time to do it for us. That's not our interest. And what we'd like to do is say these are companies that you can work for, look to, and these possibly can be areas that you can tend to. So they don't get, basically, sometimes they get even frustrated saying, oh, you told us all these great things and now you're not going to help us, so.
definitely. Well, I can tell you, I can show off our voice AI system, no
Right.
problem. That's
Good.
actually my specialty.
Perfect. Like what can you show?
Get on a plane to Florida, would help. Maybe I could just record a demo or something for you guys, just like a 2-minute, 3-minute thing that you could just show or that. Because certainly, if you're talking about us versus Twilio, we'd love to go head to head with them.
Yeah, I'd love to for you. And basically, we spend
every single day. So
yeah, that'd be
You
great.
can also come in on Zoom. So
Maybe we can even have you come in Zoom. Sometimes there's problems with connections, but maybe we can, that you can even come through Zoom.
So maybe you can send a sales representative that is local. You can come in Zoom, and then immediately after our session, there is a happy hour in their bar. So the session ends at 4:30, and then from 4:30 to 8, there is a happy hour in the bar, and the salesman can go and interact with all these companies. And we will help them with technical assistance in case they need it, but we cannot handle 30 or 40 companies all at the same time, plus teaching position at a university and doing research.
Sure. Well, what is your experience with voice AI? Have you had experience building these systems yourself?
Both. We also did in the last seminar, I prepared a spreadsheet that I can show you of 30 or more different websites for different businesses. For example, a real estate business that has a website and has an AI caller. So if somebody wants to call and get information, they can call the AI chatbot, and the AI chatbot would reply and reroute the call to another person depending on the need. So if you like, she can share the screen with you, and I can pull up the spreadsheet and demonstrate it to you.
Or you can show us what you have.
In different areas.
No, I mean, this is I do this every day of the week, so no, I've seen all of the systems. I know all
okay. Hold on. Okay.
Yeah, no, this actually is of all of the AEs at Telmex, my personal specialty is our AI.
Oh, wow.
Suite of the house.
What a coincidence. So
yes, that is definitely why I think why you guys got rooted to me based on the use case.
Right. And also what a coincidence you're planning to come to Miami too. Yes. How great is that?
So you can go and shop for a house or some other things.
As a matter of fact,
I'll get there. Well, I'm working on it.
That example that I wanted to show you was using VAPI, and we're trying to use VAPI and Air AI and all the different startups that are specializing in AI callers.
Right. So our seminar, basic participants just took VAPI, and it was easy, that they got the numbers, and then they basically were able to change the prompts and start basically seeing how that worked. Yeah.
They were using different templates. For example, template for a dentist office, one that were affiliated, interested in a dentist office web development, or real estate, or they have different templates on their website, and then those that are programmable among the participants in the seminar did more programming work.
Yeah, but a lot of them weren't programmers even, and just took the
Yeah.
simple route of just changing the
The
prompt.
target was more businessmen that want to get into it, and then once they need a programmer,
They could
we
get
match
more.
them with the developers. This is why we
Cool. So,
presented
so
in.
let me ask you a
Yeah.
question. Do you need any specific help with Telnex today, or is your inquiry more about this conference that's coming up? And
well,
you'd
both.
We need today
from
because we would like,
We'd like to-
eventually, we would like to port in a 30 or 40 or to test it, and then 100. We have some. In this case, we had 100 participants in the seminar. We grouped them into a group of 3, depending on the industry, and we ported numbers into VAPI or the other services like Air AI and a few more. So we need to port the numbers because many of the businesses have numbers that they want to use. So their customers know the number already and they advertise it and so on.
High level, what I can tell you, the
Okay.
biggest difference between every single company you have just mentioned and Telnex
Yes.
is not a single one of those companies is a telecom provider. We are. And when I say we're a telecom provider, we are fully licensed. We sit on the board of the FCC, so we vote on the FCC. We own the entirety of our infrastructure, head to toe. And now we've built our own AI networks on our own GPUs. We have our own data centers.
And that's why we contacted you, because we have a lot of international students. For example, the children of all kinds of millionaires in Saudi Arabia and Mexico send their children
Latin America.
for these seminars, and a lot of the companies don't even ChatGPT that have this 800 ChatGPT number cannot extend beyond the U.S.
But not only that, that it's generic. What they want is with their own data, with their own information. Where 1-800.
Don't worry, I'm already talking to them, so I'm going to fix that for you. They're on Twilio today, which is why it doesn't work well. I'm about to change that.
Okay,
so don't
okay,
worry, we'll fix that.
okay. But I'm just telling you that these are the kind
Another example is 640 called Sam. If you cannot understand my accent, you can translate it to American accent so you can understand it. But this is another AI caller that uses a local number as opposed to ChatGPT that uses
800.
a toll-free number.
It's leveraging a toll-free number. So, yeah, I mean, again, in terms of functionality, where Telnex stands out is that we are an actual telecom company, not just in the U.S., in nearly 40 countries around the world.
Wow.
We are a fully licensed telecom company, as deep as you could possibly be. We also have full direct PSTN replacement in 45 countries around the world, and we offer local numbers and local calling in over 140 countries around the world. Our points of presence we operate out of 17 points of presence around the world, so we can complete a call, text message, video call, whatever it is, anywhere around the globe. And we will do it on our own private networks. We operate our own backbone. It is not through the public internet. For example, Twilio manages all through the public internet. We are our own private networks, so security parameters are higher. We also have more control over latency. In terms of voice AI, we have the lowest latency in the industry. This is for a few reasons. Number one, because we own and operate our own infrastructure. But number two, because our physical hardware that's in our data centers sits directly next to each other. And I'm sure, as you know, as a professor, at a certain point, even though this is cloud-based technology, where the servers do sit, and it makes a difference.
Yeah, you also, excuse me for interrupting you, but you mentioned a local host. We also have the situation we have a terabyte and terabyte of videos. We record the lectures.
And we stream it live.
And we stream it live, but then we have a very high quality video locally before the compression. And many times we want to train the AI based on those videos, and it is a terabyte and terabyte of videos that have nothing to do with the internet. So you can run it much faster and better without having to worry about connectivity and bandwidth. Just run it on the terabyte and terabyte of a local hard drive. So why did you mention somewhere something about a local host and the advantages to running an AI on local host? I don't know if you are familiar with that.
the advantage is that we control every aspect of it. So first of all, we can manage the latency because we own every aspect, every ping that that system is going to hit across from your knowledge base, from your cloud storage that you vectorize for your database, for your knowledge base, lives in our cloud storage. Our cloud storage is sat directly next to our GPUs that your inference model is running on. So that's the reason I mentioned is that pure speed to turn, LLM turn, is quicker. It's why we're faster than all of our competitors. But that being said, it depends on how you want to architect your system. I personally leverage OpenAI models when I construct my voice AI assistants. When I leverage OpenAI's model, it is running on their hardware, not ours. My GPU is not spinning when I use OpenAI, but if I select any open source, it is. So it just depends on how you want to architect the system.
But
the point being is that I have the lowest latency, I have the lowest cost, and we also have one feature that no one in the world can offer, which is HD voice. HD voice specifically refers to 16.2 or 16.4 kilohertz quality over audio. We are the only carrier in the world that offers this. What it does in terms of AI specifically, sure, the voice from the AI sounds a little bit clearer, and that's great for the person listening. But what really matters is your transcription ability.
Yeah, that is very.
Audio through the model is going to be clear, and we're the only company in the world that can do that.
This is why we contacted you, because if you are going to listen to a lecture of a professor, you want to get exactly what he said and nothing else, and very clearly without any changes and hallucinations and problems like that. Especially when you deal in medicine and you teach somebody how to do surgery, and somebody misinterprets it and does the wrong thing. So sometimes we have a surgeon in the hospital demonstrating the real surgery, and in an off location we have 50 other surgeons that operate on a cadaver. Say cadaver in English so I can understand it.
Yeah, in a cadaver. So they're basically in a lab. So we have one,
so
for instance,
trying to imitate what the surgeon is doing in real time, and it's really important for them to understand it, and the quality of the recording and the broadcasting, because some of the surgeons cannot come to the facility, can host some 500 surgeons at a time. They took a huge warehouse in downtown Miami near the airport, and they turned it into a surgery demonstration site. But some of them are around the world, and it is critical that the voice will be extremely clear, because some of them stand in front of the cadaver or some other hand. That was about hand surgery, and they listen and they see what the surgeon is doing in a real surgery and try to imitate it on the cadaver arm, for example.
wrist.
Like, for example, last time we did it, they had to suture a nerve that was in the arm that was severed. And the surgeon in our table, we joined one of the tables, and they made 6 or 7 holes in this hand, and they couldn't find the nerve is very thin. So they asked the surgeon, and the surgeon had to look at what the surgeon in the hospital that conducted a real surgery on a real patient had to look at their arm, and they had to, in a second, he told them, yes, because you are getting from the backside straight, you have to go to the side. And then they did one cut, and they already did it correctly. So the audio is crucial. That's what is important. Also, for developers, if I'm a developer, I don't need everything to go to up and down to the internet. I want to have a fast turnout. I made a little small change. I compiled my program, and I want to rerun it and so on. And then it is very important to run on a local host, and nobody else is hitting the server. So it's not like I have a million calls coming to the server, but the speed
Working
is very important, because I repeat it 100 times, rerun it, and I don't want to have to worry about the internet.
It's for the solution, basically. Think about it.
And like you said, confidentiality is also important. If I develop something that all my competitors are eager to copy before I even go to market, I don't want them to have all the tracks and everything on what I'm doing and go to China and reverse engineer it in a minute.
or HIPAA compliant, you know.
Definitely. So,
So we have many interests in Telnex. I'm just thinking about why I mentioned the speaking engagement first is I'm looking at time priorities. That's all. You know,
sure.
so and it
Right.
just turned out till we ended our semester and so forth and our other activities, we were delayed in getting in touch with you. So that was the
We're
issue.
also specializing in vanity phone number. Can you excuse me a minute?
Yeah.
I wanted to come closer so you can see my head. I don't know if you can see my head and read the message there.
Run.seo?
Yeah, right.
Yes, this is a vanity number. Uh, I don't even can see it myself so well, but this is an example. Run.sco.info, and the matching number is 786-268. What does it say there?
7364.
Right. So this is, and that is the reason that those companies have a vanity number that they want to use for the AI caller, and they have to port it into a VAPI or Air or you or somebody else. So it's not just a matter of just taking any number off the shelf, and they invested a lot of money in advertising and promoting it.
So that's part of our research too, is to see what is the effect of these vanity numbers. So past research has been what is the effect of these vanity numbers on ROI, the return on investment. Plus now you're adding additional, as in the past you'd had 1-800-Flowers or something. Now what is the advantage when you're having intelligent AI callers attached to it?
Also, we demonstrate in this conference that we invited you to a video recognition, which means that when we record a video, the machine breaks the video, let's say 30 picture, what is it called, 30 or 60 frames per second. It breaks it to the 60 frames, analyze the image without the audio, and then adds the audio and integrates the audio and the video together and writes a description, so the students not only have a foreign professor like myself speaking in a language that they cannot understand the word, they have the AI that narrates it, that transcribes it, and you mentioned already the accuracy of the transcription, and narrates it in the required language and accent. So American accent, and they will write the narration, and they would write the transcript, and they would narrate it with audio for the blind, because the universities have to comply with American with Disabilities Act and provide the deaf or the blind with the services, and this is a lot cheaper than hire a professional transcriber and all of that.
At least in summary.
So this is what the topic in the conference will be, and we will demonstrate it. But when the participant want to get information specifically about Telnix and all kinds of things, we know very little about your company, so it will be so much better. This is what we would like from the guests to do, not to deal with the technicality, but just to describe, okay, I want to get services for Telnix, what should I do? And can you sell me
more
whatever?
on a higher level? We don't need the technical, for this conference, we don't need the technical.
And if there will be any technical questions, we will handle it, so you don't have to worry about it, because we are developers in nature that are doing other things also.
Sure. I mean, like I said, it's a competitive space. There's a lot of companies that are in it.
And it's confusing too, Harrison. When a normal consumer looks at it, they all look the same, so they never know, And especially it's a new space too of this AI.
And everybody sticks AI everywhere.
And you don't know if it's real or not.
Whatever they did before, they stick the word AI and they claim to have AI. Most of them don't even know what it is.
Yes, it's a true statement. Most people do not actually understand AI in the slightest. A lot of people tell me they have AI and they don't. Just using OpenAI, that does not mean you have AI. That just means you're using
But the public
OpenAI.
cannot tell the difference.
They're confused. They're not educated yet. And
yes, I mean, look, like I said, I can work on maybe getting a video demo or something and discuss with some colleagues in Florida and see if anyone's available. All I can tell you high level is that, yes, you are talking to all of our competitors, but the main difference is whether it's VAPI, Retail, any of those guys, I can tell you Retail is starting to work with us. Although we actually
Oh,
may not
retail
accept it
also, yes.
because they've had so many bad actors on their sites.
Yeah.
But the point is that at the end of the day, we're talking about a phone call. So no matter how good your AI is, if you don't have a telephony provider, if you don't have a phone provider, you don't have a voice AI system over a phone call. That's why we're better than our competitors. We'll always be cheaper because they still need to buy from us to complete their services. And we also have features that they don't have. We now have access to dynamic variables as well as memory. You can call the bot, call it back a week later, and it can remember your conversation.
Oh,
It
that's
can remember
nice.
And
specific
that
data
is
points,
extremely
it can remember
important.
whatever you'd like to tell it.
That is
So
extremely
it's a
important when
field
you
that
have a
we
long
excel in,
when you have a long
and it's
seminar. You know, sometimes we have a seminar, 2 hours every week for a few weeks. So the next week comes, and it's also about IT and AI, and it's important that the AI remembers, and we built on that. So you don't want to go and teach it 5 hours from before just to be able to connect the what is it? Connect the ends connect.
Connect the ends.
Yeah. So the memory and the dynamic variables are very important.
Yes, definitely.
Totally.
Okay, well, I do have to prepare for the
Yeah.
call here. So
Okay.
how about this? I can shoot you an email with like a little demo or something, just showing
Yeah.
off our voice AI system. It's incredibly easy to use. You do not need to code, and you can have a system up and running in a few minutes. You can have users go in and build it themselves. They wouldn't need a Telnex account to do that. In order to sign up for a Telnex account, you will have to use a business company email. We don't work directly with consumers. We do work with companies. So if you register with a Gmail or something, it will flag you. And then there's also just basic verification of like KYC and things of that nature. These are just security parameters. Exactly my example of what happened in retail. Their KYC was not high enough, and they had a lot of people coming in and doing scams and fraud utilizing their voice AI agents because their KYC parameters were not high enough. I can assure you, sometimes it's quite frustrating when I deal with real customers because our real customers get flagged and they're like, "I'm legit business. Why am I being flagged?" We just have to say it's because our security is that high.
What
We'll
about
make sure,
EDU domain name?
Can we
Domain
use
names with EDU, domain name extensions, is that considered business or not
yes,
business?
a domain. Yes. So, like for example, you're a professor at the
Yeah.
University of Miami. If you use your University of Miami domain, it should work for you. But you can always reach out to support.telnex.com for those issues if it ever flags you on any aspect of the
Yeah, but
registering
when
for your
we are in a
account.
seminar and you have 100 of them, and all 100 hits the server at the same time, we want to be in and out quickly and demonstrate it, and not start with long
So
conversations.
tech support.
Can
Yeah.
you share with him your screen, and I would
Oh,
like
it's
to
a,
show the
no, hold on.
spreadsheet for a minute?
I don't have access to sharing the screen either.
Oh, you can
Leaving the
if you
shade
want to later share the screen, I will just pop up a spreadsheet to show you. Uh, 1 minute demo is worth 1,000 words.
Or we can do it in another
I
call.
do. I do have to hop for a
Yes,
So
client
we
meeting
can do
here
it
right now,
another
we
actually.
can
time.
do
So
it another time.
if you want, you can send it over in an email. I'd be more than
Yeah,
happy
we can
to check
email
it
it to
out.
you.
Uh,
But yeah, let me know. Like I said, I
why
can
don't you do this,
film a couple
Harrison?
minute demo to show off how our system operates. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
answering questions that I tell most customers that you can show to the companies that will be present.
Yeah.
And beyond that, like I said, I would just create a Telmex account so you guys can do it the day of. Don't wait till the day of because
No,
Right.
no,
No,
that's
no.
what we are
So
doing it
maybe
in
even
advance because we wanted to practice.
maybe we can even do that, Harrison. If you can send us information and detailed information, maybe we can even show that at that Friday at that Saturday seminar.
Yeah, and
You
we'll stream
understand?
it live. So if you want to
And
watch it or participate in it, all you need to do will send you the link and you can click on it.
we can even stream it live.
sure. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm more than happy to put together a
Yeah,
demo and
right.
and
Maybe we
show
can even try it out if you could
what our
send us.
system how our system operates.
Right.
But well, great. Well, like I said, I do have to hop here
Yeah.
for a
Okay.
meeting.
All
But
right.
you have my email address. Let
And
me
why
know
don't you do
how I could be of assistance.
and why don't you do that, Harrison? Why don't you send us one so I know exactly? So I have so many of the emails. Why don't you send me right after your call or
Send
later
us an
today.
email and we reply
We'll reply.
by attaching an email, a spreadsheet in Excel, right? You have Excel, right?
Right. And then we'll,
Yeah.
So
and
all you need to do is click it, is hyperlinked our podcast and about several dozen caller AI
right, that
that
we
you
were
can
doing.
click and talk to the AI, and also the website URL. You can click on it and
Yeah.
roam in the
And then you
website.
can send us your information as well. Okay, let's start with that. I'll be expecting an email from you and then we'll respond. And
Perfect.
then I also can send you more details of that seminar next Saturday as well. And
Perfect.
then I have one for artificial intelligence in August in Las Vegas as well that I'm going to be speaking
We have
at.
another one coming up on IT Expo next year already. We have been accepted for the
For
presentation.
February in Fort Lauderdale. Okay.
Fort Lauderdale, I think it is in January or February.
February.
When you plan to come here, so you can check your property.
Okay.
All right. Well, I do have to go.
Yeah, okay.
I have another
All
call I
right.
have to deal with at the
Okay.
moment. But thank you
Okay.
so much.
You're welcome.
We'll be in contact. Have a nice
Okay.
one, guys.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Have a nice weekend.
Bye. Okay.
Let me
Here,
do-
okay, here we recorded, so you want to shut down recording?
Yeah.
Where is it? Why did I lose it? Oh, right
Doesn't
here.
matter.
Here, right here, right here. I'm stopping it, and I sent it to